What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is March the 4th. I'm going to give you a pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and everything else you need to know for today. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, there isn't anything coming out today that's going to disrupt the broader market. Rather, you're going to see a nice carry forward from last week into this week. So a lot of good positive momentum. Plus the fear and greed index currently is at 79. So you're seeing a nice natural push higher with a lot of growth stocks, so that's kind of a good thing. So also on a side note, you had a lot of analysts come out on Friday and over the weekend saying that despite the S&P hitting all-time highs on Friday, that the trend is set in stone and will continue to propel stocks higher and growth stocks. So overall, that's a lot of optimism that was given to the market, and also a lot of analysts at the same time were saying that this trend that we are on is going to continue to happen regardless if there is cuts in May or not. And plus, what did come out on Sunday just after hours was this. So Bank of America Global Research raises year-end 2024 S&P 500 target to 5,400 from 5,000. That is crazy stuff. So there is a lot of FOMO that's happening in the broader market. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Starting off with some good old stocks, SOFI, that is up 0.89%, piggybacking off the broader market. As far as news, there was some news that came out today. So 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧 CEO is speaking, and I'm not really sure what the expectations are, but clearly given the fact that SOFI did state that their tech component and is going to be one of the driving factors for revenue going forward, I believe 50% or more. I can't remember exactly what they said, but so I think that might be something to pay attention to. Aside from that though, nothing really specific. So last news came out on February the 13th. Looking here, so shorts are increasing about 503 shares. That is it. So not all that much. 17.37% of the free float is being shorted. 157.66 million shares overall are being shorted. So that as well is something to kind of watch for, because SOFI is on almost the same trend as kind of the SPAC level, or I guess just post-SPAC level once it did get rolled out. So I'm not really sure if that's something to worry about, because short interest got to around 22% back in the day. So it's kind of on the same trend, which is weird considering SOFI's had some pretty good earnings. But if you're looking at trading SOFI with it at $9.09 pre-market, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So 920 is going to be the next strong resistance level that you'll want to watch for SOFI to get above. And even if you're looking on the 1 minute chart, basically $9.10 right here is also another smaller resistance level, which seems to be really causing SOFI some difficulty so far this morning. Moving on though, so Helios Medical Technologies, ticker is HSDT. So that is up 48.25% based on this news right here. I'm definitely not going to pretend to know exactly what they're talking about, so just make sure you guys do your own due diligence. As far as what this company is all about, it is right here. So you can pause it, read through it, and whatever else. I have started to really look at this. This is more of a side note. So Seeking Alpha did add this. So seasonality. So you can see historically on when a stock does typically do good. And so far, I guess for this company, it doesn't seem all that profitable or I guess beneficial over the last little bit. December seems to be their only good month. Quickly going back over to SOFI, I just wanted to bring this up because it does look like in May seems to be a very good month. So historically it goes up 17.4%. So maybe that might be something good. But quickly going back over to this Helios company. So it's not that heavily shorted right now. Shorts are increasing about 40,000 shares. 7.95% of the free float is being shorted, and 66.31 thousand shares overall are being shorted. And cost of our average is 285.76%. Looking at the interactive broker short availability does indicate around 15,000 shares is available to be shorted. So not all that much. But if you are looking at trading this with it currently at $6.84, it is between this S1 and the pivot. Very wide gap. So you have to anticipate that there's a lot of volatility. And so potentially just watch for a retracement. $5.73 will be that next strong support, and then vice versa, $11.56 will be that next strong resistance level. So it does have a lot of room to essentially run up, so this is where you could see a very nice pop up. And moving on to stock number 3, SOUN. So this one is at 5.39%, still getting a ton of volume in it. This is what they do, so you can always pause it, read through it, and whatever else. And as far as shorts are still very much hell-bound on destroying, or not destroying, but kind of doubling down on SOUN. So pre-market, they are increasing 414,000 shares, still in the threshold list, which in the past hasn't really amounted to all that much, but 17.02% of the free float is being shorted, and 35.85 million shares overall are being shorted. So it is in the territory where it's all-time highs short interest for SOUN. So again, that might be some concerns to some individuals. At the same time, some people might look at this and say, hey, you know what, this is a crazy squeeze play, and whatever else. Utilization is 94.88, and cost to borrow average is 33.68%. If you are looking at trading SOUN though, it's kind of above all the key pivotal moving averages, so it is basically at the all-time high, or kind of close to it somewhat. So $7.91 is that all-time high, but right now with it at $6.35, it is between this pivot and this R1, so it still does have a lot of good momentum in it, and it's within the set range for it to obtain a new high. So something to kind of consider, but vice versa, you'll want to watch that 565, and on Friday it did bounce off of that, and that was the saving grace. So technicals will play a very big part in SOUN today. Moving on, CleanSpark. Every miner, everything associated to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is just running like a madman. So that is up 7% so far this morning. And right now, this is what they do, so you can always pause it and read through it. Seasonality, it looks like July seems to be a very good month for it. March historically goes down 5.7%, but still, this is just an average over the last 8 years, in fact. But moving on though, shorts right now are returning about 35,000 shares, and kind of justified if that makes sense. 13.11% of the free float is being shorted, and 24.86 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 0.58%, and utilization is 20.23%. So in reality, even though this is in a very volatile sector, this isn't a squeeze play, only because utilization is very low, as is cost to borrow. So technically, with 13.11% of the free float being shorted, I wouldn't really call it a squeeze play. But if you are looking at trading this with it right now at 1903, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So the very strong support of 1594, you'll want to watch for that to hold. I don't anticipate it being touched. If anything, it'll be more oriented towards the R1. And then 2198 is going to be that next strong resistance level. And finally, last stock I want to talk on is Palantir. So that one is down 1.72%. You are having a lot of abnormal volume getting into Palantir so far pre-market. This is what they are all about, so you can pause it and read through it. Seasonality, looks like June seems to be a very good month, as is May, but I think that's skewing the numbers. It's only over the last 3 years, so kind of have to take that with a grain of salt. And the reason why they are down pre-market is that there was a lot of anticipation that they were going to join the S&P 500, but no dice. So this is what is causing it to go down. Aside from that, 5.21% of the free float is being shorted. 102.94 million shares overall are being shorted. So far, pre-market shorts are returning about 4,000 shares, and cost to borrow average is negative, meaning there is a broker out there physically paying people to short Palantir. It's very minor, so it is negative 0.01. But still, something to consider. But if you are looking at trading Palantir with it at 24.41, it is just between this pivot and this R1. So the pivot representing the support, so 22.21, and then 25.84 is going to be that next strong resistance. And it kind of bounced off of that yesterday, somewhat. The general range. So I feel like there is a lot of room for it to go. Today might be just consolidation. I don't anticipate it touching this 22.21 today at all. If anything, it might just consolidate and then from there trend up higher. So let me know your thoughts on Palantir. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for an account with Moomoo through $100 ad and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this promo while you can. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.